and welcome back to the Experience Podcast. It's just me again this week. This is part two. So if you hadn't listened to part one, what are you doing? This is part two of our commentary for episode number 20, which we titled the Meta episode. I'll just do a quick recap in case you weren't listening last week. But it's Connor and Tanner doing their own thing. They met up with a couple people at a called it a social gathering. They said it's a Halloween party, and they brought them on the podcast for some reason. I don't. I get that part's still a mystery to me. Maybe I'll ask Tanner about it next time he's on the podcast. He's actually part of the reason we're doing these commentaries is he's a little busy right now too. So yeah. So we're gonna keep going on these. Again, if you haven't, I keep saying again, but like this is the first. This if you hadn't, please share this podcast with someone you know, and we're gonna keep going here. So this is episode number 20. We're starting around the 19-minute mark. If you're following along at home, you don't have to because I'll be playing it right here through this podcast. So yeah, we'll have it all here. Anyway, let's get going.
It's just fancy.
Because that's where Starbucks is from, right, Sam?
Yeah. Was it the first
It was
Starbucks?
I didn't go to the first Starbucks.
Okay.
That had like 200 people there.
Okay.
But the
Pike
Starbucks
Place,
Reserve was cool. Yeah,
Mm.
Pikes.
Oh, that's right.
I've never been on the West Coast.
It's cool. It's cool. I don't think I could live there. I'm not a West Coast gal.
Really? Is there a
Not even in
difference?
California?
Yeah. I mean, I like San Francisco. I applied for jobs there, but I don't know. It's weird. It's not the same as the East. I don't know how else to describe it because I'm not from the West Coast. People from the West Coast, I have a friend from LA and she always, like, she does things and you're like, okay, you're not from Georgia. It's very obvious, but I don't know.
Because I've never been to West Coast. Like, I don't know, like, the difference. Have I been? No, I haven't been to the West Coast. So, like, I don't, like, what's different about it?
Culture?
Is it, like, the
It
culture,
is
but,
a
like...
culture thing. I don't know. At least in like Southern California, everyone's just like. It seems like they're made of sunshine, but also sadness. And
Mhm.
here, they're just like, not sunshine. I don't know.
It's just sadness here?
There's like other stuff. I don't know. Maybe like Coca-Cola, but
So Coca-Cola and sadness
Yeah.
versus sunshine.
yeah.
We'll do a podcast. We'll fly to the West Coast.
We'll
We'll
fly to the West
using our
Coast.
podcast money.
We have tried to make money off the
Very
podcast.
successful.
Did
Have
you
we?
get sponsored by Blue Apron?
Oh, we could.
Yes.
Shout out to Blue Apron, our first sponsor.
Our
of the
first
day.
sponsor of the podcast.
Whenever there's something that's sponsorable, we have to bring it up and,
Oh, okay.
and sponsor it anyway.
But
It's
they-
part of our clause with the institutes.
What's like their motto?
What?
Blue Apron.
Blue Apron?
You have to like have their.
Pausing here. Couple things. We'd love to do a traveling podcast. We've kind of talked about doing maybe like a travel episode where we go somewhere, but obviously the budget is the budget, and we have no money. And then the sponsors, yeah. Again, of course, if anyone wants to sponsor this podcast, we're more than willing to listen to what you got. Um, we're hoping so we need to get the views back, the downloads back, to get our sponsorships back through Spotify. Since when I talked about this on air before, but when Spotify bought Anchor, they changed some of the rules with that, so we lost that sponsorship. But yeah, just keep downloading. Even so, if you listen on YouTube, that's great. We love you, but those numbers don't count toward those sponsorship goal numbers, right? So if you listen on YouTube, that's fine. Again, we love you, but also go to the feed and just download it. It doesn't have to be. It could be Anchor. It could be, well, Anchor's not thing. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to I guess you're not because it's on YouTube, but wherever you can download it. All those links that you see at the landing page on Spotify, they should have different opportunities or what's it called? But locations, I guess, to listen to the podcast. Just download it there. Heck, download it twice. Anyway, that'll help. That really helps us out. So anyway, let's get back into the episode here.
slogan. That's
Hold
what
on,
they
hold
want
on. Desirable cooking at your doorstep.
That was good. All right.
Is that
Blue
actually what
Apron.
it is?
No, I'm just
Oh.
making shit up.
You're just goofing.
I'm just goofing.
What is Blue Apron?
It's probably close to that.
No, what is Blue Apron?
Oh, it's like a like Loot Crate, Loot Box. Yeah, Loot Crate. You know that one where they like
Oh, they
you
ship
pay
stuff
a
to you.
monthly subscription and they ship you like
Oh, so it's like
shit you don't need.
Schwann's kind of, but in a box.
Schwann's.
It's like they drive up like in a truck. It's like mail, but for food.
Yes, it's basically like
Okay.
that. It's they ship you ingredients and you make it yourself.
Are you looking up our sponsor?
Yes, I'm looking them up. Motto.
They don't actually have a motto.
There's like some copy.
It's like fresh ingredients, original recipes, delivered to your door.
Oh,
Use code experience.
Use the code
Yes.
/ the Experience Podcast
for 10% off.
for 10% off. Yep.
And use the Experience Podcast for an extra 10%.
Yes.
Mhm.
But we haven't gotten sponsored yet. The way we make
No.
money off the podcast is we have a subscription package, like a tiered subscription package.
Like a
Yeah,
Patreon?
we have a Patreon.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a Patreon, but we say we have a Patreon to make us look more professional.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, should we explain? We've explained the Patreon every single episode.
Have we?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't.
I think we
I
explained
mean,
it
you
yesterday.
explained it to me one time, and I was
Yeah.
on several episodes.
Oh, so I'm
and
lying.
Well, I'm sure on one of those episodes it wasn't explained, but
Uh-huh.
you can explain
You
it.
can explain it. You know
I-
it by now.
You explained it to me one episode, 5 episodes.
We'll just
ago.
make it up then.
Okay, so it starts with the silver subscription, right?
Yes.
Not bronze. Because
Not
that
bronze.
would be a little
Bronze is everyone.
derogatory.
Everyone has the bronze
Everyone's got
subscription.
the
You just
bronze.
listen.
Yeah.
But the silver package is $39.
No, $29.
$29.99 per month, and what it gets you is what?
Pausing here. I love the the disappointment in Connor's voice when he goes, "No, 29.99." I don't remember. You know what? I talk a lot about our fake Patreon in the early days. Again, if anyone wants to donate, you can just donate directly through Spotify. Donate to the podcast. That'll help us get the equipment and maybe do that travel episode. Anyway, it's the the Connor and Tanner like Tanner's gotten off pretty easy this episode, I think, because Connor's being respectful in front of our guests, obviously. But you can hear the tinge of like, oh, he's it's the ball's rolling now. We're about halfway through this episode. We're 23 minutes in, and Connor's like, okay, hold on, we can get Tanner on this. But anyway, let's keep going.
5 minutes?
It gets you
Before?
5
minutes.
5
before,
minutes early.
You get to listen to this podcast 5 minutes before it is usually released, and you also get mailed rocks.
No, that is
Nope.
not yet.
That's not
Yeah,
yet.
because the
Sorry.
silver, because usually comes out at 8 a.m. on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
If you pay $29.99 a month, you get it at $7.55.
I would
So,
think it's a good deal.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a great.
And the
deal.
rocks.
and
The-
well, the rocks. That is
Is
what
that
we
the
have the
gold?
gold. No,
The
the
gold?
gold. No, the gold doesn't. Gold just gets it 10 minutes early
Gold is 10 minutes early. Okay.
for $35.99. We reduced the price actually.
Oh, really?
We reduced
That's
the
great.
price.
That's great.
And
And
then
then the platinum.
the platinum.
Platinum is we ship rock in addition to being 15 minutes early.
Mhm. So 7:45.
Wow.
7:45
Yeah. It is
a.m.
a big
on
deal.
Tuesday. You also get shipped some rocks.
Rocks
Wait,
in a box.
so
Is
what's
the-
silver? Or no, silver is gold. What's the difference between gold and silver again?
Silver is 5 minutes early, and then gold is 10 minutes early.
Oh, okay.
So
Are the rocks monthly, or is it just like a one-time?
it's a one-time thing. We
rocks
just
in the
yeah,
box?
we pick out like some. Well, we don't pick them out because that's below
No,
us.
yes.
We have our
The interns.
Our interns
mhm.
to go pick out some rocks, put them in a box, and get shipped some rocks. And
Love that.
yeah, and for one of our platinum members will actually get a rocks box with not actual rocks, but a picture of rocks that we will sign.
Wow.
Whoa.
So
better.
yeah,
Really, the bang for your buck is just like.
Honestly,
it's for only $59.99.
we should try to like just hike up the prices around the board, but include like a signed picture of the crew.
Yeah, or we sign it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean that adds some value. We could actually make. So even just talking about this fake subscription package on our Patreon.
For about
But if we actually
10.
wanted to make this, I feel like that could be a legitimate reward.
I think demand is like skyrocketing for this.
Demand
Yes.
is
Pausing it there. Does anyone actually want a signed picture of us? I mean, just you know what? Someone might buy it. You know what? The someone would be Tanner. Tanner would totally buy a signed picture of like Connor or me. You know, maybe one of these days we'll set up a Patreon. But so then we have to deal with the rocks and the whatnot. Anyway, let's keep going.
It's too high.
Actually, it's increased. Not. What is it? Are we at like 90 per episode now? 90,
We are
90
at
listeners?
dozens per episode.
Dozens.
Yeah.
Literally.
Quite a few.
Literally
So
dozens
we
of
are
us.
going from dozens. We're now at about like Baker's dozens per episode.
Oh really?
So
I thought
we
it was
are-
much higher. Daniel told me it was much higher.
One day- Maybe we are. I don't know. He knows the stats.
Daniel knows the stats. He's the
Yeah.
producer. So.
Okay.
I thought it was in the 90s.
It's going up. It is going up. We
Okay.
do a lot of. We go to like the Tech Green and like pass out flyers.
Oh,
for y'all.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we had got someone who said they'd come on. Religious Robbie said he would come on.
Ooh.
What religion is he?
He's Christian.
Everyone.
He's
Every
every. He's
religion.
every.
Every
He's
religion.
every
That's why he's
religion.
religious
That's why
Robbie.
he's religious Robbie.
Once again here, I am trying to remember that sounds familiar, and I remember. So Connor's right. We did actually go to basically like the center of campus and hand out flyers for our podcast, which is a bit strange, right? You're handing out a piece of paper for people to go on to a digital podcast. But we ended up, we put a QR code on there, so you just scan the QR code and it popped up. And this is before we switched to Anchor, when it was a little harder. It was on podcast.com, so it was a little harder to distribute the podcast, or to get people to get on there. But Religious Robbie was someone we ran into while we were handing out flyers, who I guess was very religious and wanted to talk about Christianity on the podcast. And Connor and I are open-minded, so we were like, maybe. And I don't think we ever heard. I think, you know what? I'm gonna check my phone, see if I have a phone number, or maybe I just got his email or something. Let's see. I'm searching now. No, it doesn't look like I have. I don't know if I have anyone named Robert or Robbie or anything like that. I mean, I have a Robert, but I'm not sure. Call him one day. So yeah, well, let's see what Connor says.
Wait. Who is it then?
I don't know who he is. He's just religious Robbie. That's all he told
How do you,
us.
really?
Yeah.
That's sounds like an interesting.
Oh, he was
guess.
like a 40-year-old guy. He seemed pretty credible. He seemed credible. I would believe he's religious.
Where'd you
Robbie.
meet him? Tech Green?
Yeah.
Was he just
40-year-old
there?
on Tech Green.
On Tech Green.
Okay,
So-
trustworthy.
Was he doing anything?
No, he was just walking past.
Oh, and you're like,
Mhm.
come be on the podcast.
Well,
You approach
we
a
just.
40-year-old man and say, "Come be on my podcast."
Well, we didn't
sir."
say that. That's not our starter. We just usually like fall down in front of him and then hand him a flyer. And
Yeah,
then,
do you actually do that? Because I mean, if people were to hand me stuff, I usually like put my headphones in and just stare
Deliver,
straight so
yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
I just pretend to be on the phone. I'm like,
Mhm.
That's what we do. That's usually what people do. Usually people like pretend to fake a call.
Really?
And then I usually get on the other line and be like trying to talk to them and it doesn't work.
I've never been from like a flyer's perspective. I've never like
Yeah,
given out
probably
I've done
flyers.
it once. It was kind of weird. I was with like a group of people from Rec Radio, and we were putting out flyers and stuff for college radio day, and I just sort of sat there and let other people do it
Mhm.
because I just couldn't take the rejection.
This is a preferred mode.
I find it
Yeah.
really fun.
So
Is it-
Pausing here because I'm sure Connor's about to get into it. Connor and I were very good at it, and I'm gonna take credit. He learned from me, but it's really just like, I don't want to say obnoxious, but it's like it's being very in your face and not afraid to really to just have fun with it. Like honestly, the more you have fun with like marketing or in person marketing, I guess is what it would be, a broad category wise. The more fun you have with it, the more fun they're gonna have with it. If you consider it like a job, then like people aren't gonna listen to you. But if you actually try to engage with people, we would do like these little fun games. Like Connor mentioned, fall down in front of them as a trick. When people walk past, you just accidentally, you fake trip in the middle of the walkway. Then now they gotta. You literally do the bit where oh no, you spill a bunch of your papers and now they have to help you pick them up. You do one of those bits, which is like ridiculous and it's stupid. And all the bits we did bits like that all the time. And they were stupid, but you know what? It was much more effective, and I've been told I'm effective at it. Again, I'm giving myself credit here. I don't praise myself very often, but that is one of my skills. It's just like it's almost like an acting thing. It's almost like you're putting on an act. But it's genuine to a certain degree. Like I said, you're having fun with it. So that's what we did. And Connor and I, and I mentioned this before on the first commentary that I did, that Connor and I just have that rapport, between each other, or rapport, I guess that's how you're supposed to say it. But we have that our interaction just works, and we can feed off each other, and that's why that really worked. In the in-person marketing, so I'm calling it. But anyway, let's listen to what Connor has to say.
Is there like a strategy? Like you have to maybe maintain eye contact for half a second, and that's when you know it's on.
No,
You can,
the
like,
strategy is usually they say something like so, like confusing and stupid that they're curious. Like
before
you
you
go
hand
up
them the
like
flyer?
yeah,
You
no,
say-
like you hand them the flyer and you're like, hey, I drew this with crayon. Does it look pretty? And they're like, what is wrong with you? Like that's obviously printout.
Would
and then,
you like a monthly shipment of rocks?
Yes.
You could also include
One
that.
time.
There you go.
a
One-
one-time shipment. If we could make it no, that'd be too expensive.
No, it wouldn't.
There's not enough rocks to
There's not
like.
enough rocks.
definitely
Yeah, we
run
usually take
out.
rocks from
Dozens
outside.
of rocks.
So
And part of the benefit of the rocks, speaking on that, is that you get to identify them, because you guys know rocks
right.
fall
Oh,
into
it's a
three,
mystery package.
It's a
three
mystery.
different types. There's like sedimentary, metamorphic.
Oh yeah,
and
I took
igneous.
an earth science class.
Yes.
Mhm.
So you guys know, and part of the fun of getting these rocks is identifying them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
That's where all the fun is, because you get to look at the rock and be like, what kind of rock is this? And usually because we have like some Nobel Peace Prize winners and billionaires listening to this,
Mhm.
so it's usually them like having their team, like where did this rock come from?
Like if it's
What
the
kind of rock
lab.
is it? Yeah.
yeah.
So it is.
So it's a whole bunch of fun. It rocks.
It rocks. It rocks.
Honestly.
Rocks in a box. Get your subscription today.
So I want to hear more about the flyer though.
The flyer.
What other techniques would you use?
Well, no, I actually do like fall in front of people. Like I have like about like
Actually?
10 in my hand. Yeah, and I just like walk in front of like a group
No
of people
way.
and just like trip and like throw them all up, and then they help pick up the flyers, and I'm like,
You
no,
just say,
you
"No,
you
you
can
can
just
keep
you can
them."
keep that one. You can
And just
keep
don't
it.
accept it. If they try to hand
Yeah.
it back to you, be like, no.
That's usually what I.
Closing here. That's what I just mentioned. Oh, look at me. Yeah, that's literally the bit, and it sounds ridiculous. They're laughing, but it's like it gets people to talk to you. We got so many more people to talk to us and accept the flyer. Did they go listen to the podcast afterward? Who knows? Actually, we kind of knew. We could see numbers spike a bit when we handed out flyers. But like, I did it for clubs as well. I did it for the Energy Club. I would hand out flyers and stuff like that, and it would be to the point where other like tables that were there, other booths and stuff would get upset at me because I was like basically stealing their customers. Um, they'd be like, "Oh no, this guy." They probably found me annoying. I understand, but again, like I'm having fun with it, and there for the most part, the people that I would interact with were also having fun with it. So there were obviously people that got annoyed or whatever, and I understand that. It's not for everyone, but I tried to be as respectful as I could be with given the situation that it's in. But anyway, let's keep going.
I do.
No way.
Uh,
Actually, because
yeah.
I'm imagining the scene in my head.
It wouldn't,
I think it would work.
It does work. It works.
Yeah.
It
You've
works
done
pretty
it
well.
before?
I did
definitely-
it like 5 times once. I like.
Oh,
Yeah,
does the next group of people like see you like tripping in front of them, and they're like, "Oh, this guy." He's
Yeah.
gonna trip
Well,
in
I
front
don't
of
do.
us."
I usually wait about like 10 minutes in between
Okay,
turns,
okay.
and then what else do I do? Sometimes I just say like a fake name. Like I go like Esteban. Like it's been a while since our meeting
Do you
about.
actually do this?
Yeah.
You're such a good bullshitter. I can't tell.
Huh? I'm serious. I
No,
do
this one actually sounds real. That's
no,
what I'm.
this is what I do. I'd be like, hey, it's been a long time since we went bowling back in '98. How you been? And then he's like, what are you gonna give me? And I'm like, here's a flyer. So it works well.
It does.
Yeah.
Do you watch people with the flyers do that? Like crumple them up and throw them away immediately?
Yeah.
I try not to do that. I feel like it'd be
I
very
feel like it's
disheartening.
Out of seeing distance, I'd throw it away. But like I
I
hold
just
on to it and look at it for
yeah.
a second, just to boost their spirits and encourage them.
Mhm.
But maybe if the people, passing out the rowing flyers, if they started doing that shit where
Ugh,
they like
rowing.
fell, and maybe I would have considered it more.
Mhm.
If they
Yeah.
called me Esteban.
Yeah. It
They
works.
you need to teach a flyer marketing.
I do.
class.
I'll have a flyer marketing class. I'll set that up tomorrow.
For platinum.
Pausing here again. It kind of might have come up with a couple unique ideas, but most of what we learned was from me. I'm actually, I got a terrible idea, but I'm going to be visiting Georgia. One of my trips in October is visiting Georgia Tech, and I'm kind of debating whether I should hand out flyers because I'm gonna get there a little earlier one day, and so I'll have some time. Ah, man, I'm like considering going in flyers, which is ridiculous, and I'm like, I'm too old for this. But am I? This could be a good opportunity to get the podcast back up. I mean, it's the #1 podcast at Georgia Tech. You know, huh? It'd be better if we had some good episodes coming. We're just gonna have these commentaries. They're not gonna know. They're not gonna know what the deal is with these commentaries. But okay, we're gonna wrap up soon here. We're kind of closing in. We're around 30 minutes. So yeah, I'm just letting you guys know. We're gonna wrap up soon here. Probably about another 5 or so minutes. So let's keep going.
Subscribers.
For the platinum, only
Platinum
platinum subscribers,
subscribers
and
get
the
a
gold members can get the live stream.
Yeah.
Of the
okay.
lesson.
That's
But they
fair.
won't get the experience. Wow. That's. Does Daniel usually come?
Yeah, it's usually Daniel and I, and we usually just do something stupid.
Really.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you include me in this next one? I'd
No.
do it.
I mean, you have to be a host.
Am I not a host?
You're a temporary host. You have to be like a permanent host. It's in the bylaws.
Ooh.
So, but you can.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
You can help. You can help teach the class.
I can
Who
help
has
teach
the
the
class?
I mean, he's my mentor. He's taught me
Yeah.
all I know
I'm the mentor.
about flyer distribution. So.
Mhm. In the 5 minutes I've been talking.
Yes, in the fire.
Learning
No,
a
that
lot.
was interesting. I didn't know you did that.
That's just something I do once in a while.
Okay.
Just a hobby.
Under skilled on your resume.
Yes.
Passed out flyers. Can we put this on our resume? Do you think?
No. It'll make you look worse.
You think?
What if an
Yes.
employer listens to it?
They would not.
They-
I was
if
gonna
it
be.
gets
If she was
big-
gonna be on the podcast, she didn't even listen to it. I listened to half an
That's true, I
episode.
did
You
not
did, which one do you listen
really?
to?
I listened to one with. I read the description. It was like hot girl Nadia or something.
Oh, the bike experience?
maybe.
Maybe
that
it's
one
Tanner
caught my
Nadia
eye.
fight?
I downloaded one. Let me see what.
Oh, really?
I listened to some of it.
Mhm.
Bonnie's Life Exposed.
Oh, you
That
listen to
one,
Bonnie's Life
Bonnie.
Exposed.
And then I listened to 2 minutes of that, then I switched to Tanner and Nadia fight.
That was a good episode.
Okay.
That was our that was our busiest episode. We
Yeah, we
had
had 5 people.
It was
five
really
people
busy.
on, yeah.
Hopefully
That's why I
good.
listened to half of
What,
it.
what was your experience listening to the experience?
First of all, I was confused because I was trying to figure out who was who, what was your real name.
Mhm.
Um,
As happens often.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I mean, I did take notes, but it seemed legit. It seemed solid. I was just checking out the legitness.
Pausing here. She said it's legit. Guys, stop everything. Close up shop. She said it's legit. The podcast is legit. And we actually, funny enough, we did. That is the last comment. If you missed it and you want to go back, that's the last commentary we did, which is Tanner and I fight, which I agree is legit. And it is, as Connor said, very busy. It is hard to keep up in that episode. We did the commentary. We got through that one. That one is rough. Not in a bad way. I mean, like that is just like there's a lot going on. So anyway, let's hear more for greatly positive review.
Really?
Really?
What'd you think it was when we told you?
I thought I didn't know if you were being serious or not. I couldn't figure it out.
We can put it up on podcast.
Yeah, we
Oh.
pulled it up. We showed
Well, I
you.
don't really remember that, but I found your Instagram too, and it has 1 follower.
Now we have 3 followers now.
You do?
Experience
Yeah.
podcast
I've got to
on
post
Instagram.
something for this. I
Instagram?
forgot it. I'll post something later.
The Experience Podcast. Oh, you do have 3 followers,
Instagram?
and you
Congrats.
posted a new thing too.
Yeah, I did. Let's
Really?
watch it. This was yesterday.
Is this a special episode?
Yeah, this is behind the scenes.
So this isn't
Keep
a
it
special
easy.
episode anymore.
No,
That's the
that was a
episode
special
before.
episode. That was podcast 19.
Why 19 is special?
Well, because usually like 20 is special,
Mhm.
but 19 like it feels like it's left out. Like, cause no one cares about like their 19th anniversary.
I see.
So it's like because like it's more like a
Because
pity, just to, like make the number feel better.
Okay,
So-
so this is a pity night.
It's a pity 19, but it was a big episode.
Huh.
But we gotta post them again, cause I gotta do that. Make our promote.
Instagram following. Yeah, we need to grow our social media channels
Yeah.
and our avenues. You need to hire a marketing intern.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
We
Ten.
don't
In
have a
addition
whole,
to the rest.
yes,
Mhm.
but we don't have a whole lot of money or funding as
No,
Spending it all on rocks, like I get
we
it.
are spending a lot on rocks
A
and
lot.
shipping. Rocks not cheap.
You would
So-
not believe how many platinum subscribers we have.
Mhm.
It's close to 1.
It's close.
It's close.
Yeah.
Almost secured it.
Almost
It-
one.
Yes. Wow.
Mhm.
Do you frequently have people you don't know on your podcast?
This is the first time.
Oh wow, so
Yeah.
interesting.
This is
Exciting.
usually it's people we know.
Have you met Peter before?
No, Daniel didn't know.
Oh,
I had no
Daniel.
clue who Peter
Oh,
was.
okay, okay.
From band.
Yeah.
You're in band.
Yes, I know Peter.
Oh, you do band?
Yeah. And
We're gonna pause it there. I think we're gonna. Man, I think we're gonna do the rest on part 3. Um, we're right around 33 minutes, almost 34 minutes in. Yeah, this is pretty. This is not bad. I obviously I was nervous about letting Connor loose here, so to speak. Connor and Tanner on their own is usually a bad combination whenever they go do something. Whenever they're like, yeah, whenever Connor's like, I'm gonna go hang out with Tanner, or vice versa, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a bad idea. But they did okay here, and I appreciate the great reviews on the podcast. And yeah, come back next week for episode, well, for part 3 of this contract.